Hey guys, Movie Junkie for Life here, coming at you from my office once again. Because for those of you who don't know, I'm actually from an island in the Caribbean called Trinidad, part of two islands called Trinidad and Tobago, and it is carnival season, and we celebrate carnival hard here. So I was busy this weekend, having a really great time with some friends at a very, very fun fete. So unfortunately, while I did get to catch a new movie, I didn't get time to process it at home where I normally shoot. So I'm trying to get this out to you guys today because I try to get all my videos out early in the week. So without further ado, here is my review of Sleepless, starring Jamie Foxx and Michelle Moynihan. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm not even going to begin to try and pronounce the director's name other than to say I think his first name is Bo, and I'll put his name right there for you guys to see. So the plot of Sleepless is this guy who is a cop with his partner has robbed some drug lords or drug dealers, whatever you want to call them. And in doing so, he gets himself in trouble because apparently the person he stole from is they thought they were stealing from one person and they were actually stealing from somebody much worse. And it escalates when they kidnap his 16-year-old son and he has to return the goods. And while this is going on, he's being investigated by IA Internal Affairs, played by a very dogged Michelle Moynihan. So I'm not giving away anything here. This entire plot is given away in the trailer, so nothing, no spoilers here. So let's talk about what I liked in Sleepless. First of all, the actors involved, I think they were all trying to do their best with the material they were given. Jamie Foxx, Michelle Moynihan, the guy who played the villain in this, Ray, he was actually my favorite part of this was the villain. I'm so sorry I don't know the actor's name, but he was so intense and so there was just malice coming off this guy in every scene he was in, and he was actually really scary. I don't think that's somebody you really would want to cross in real life. He did come across as being truly scary as opposed to being a movie type villain that you're not taking seriously. So I thought he did a really good job with it. The movie does take elements. I personally think they took elements from movies like Heat and films like that, 999 recently, but I guess also borrowed from Heat again. So there was elements of that here. A little feel like, I don't know, I got the feeling that the director or the screenplay writer did take a look at movies like Collateral and Miami Vice and that type of thing, and they had little parts of all of that in here. Also, I would say The Departed. So they were borrowing heavily from better movies, and there's nothing wrong with that if you can make it work. Overall, though, this movie didn't really work for me. I wouldn't even say this movie entertained me. You know, you watch a film and you want to get completely pulled into it, and I didn't. I sat there and this movie kind of just happened while I was, I was watching it and I was analyzing it, and I wasn't getting lost in it, unfortunately. A couple of the action set pieces were good, but again, there was no, I don't know exactly how I should describe it, but I should say there's no depth to this movie. I just feel like everybody is playing a part. I'm not getting invested in these characters. I don't really care what happens to any one person in this movie at any point in time. Another thing that really pissed me off in this movie were the plot holes were huge. There's a scene in this movie where the police raid, let's say, a casino, and there are bad guys shooting up the place, and they go to the garage. And what I mean by they, when I say they go to the garage, Jamie Foxx and the bad guy goes to the garage. And I kid you not, there's a shootout that lasts, a chase and a shootout that lasts about, I would say, roughly 10 minutes between them. And there's zero police presence. It's not like if there aren't police in the building. There is zero police presence in this garage for something that seems to go on forever. And my mind is like, what? That would never happen. They would have locked down that entire building. So, and that was just one of many of the plot holes this movie had. Another aspect of this movie that pissed me off was how predictable it was. In that I could tell exactly who was going to betray who, and who was the good guy and who wasn't the good guy, and who was undercover and who wasn't, and all this sort of stuff. Everything is laid out so clearly. It's like the writers and the directors figured the audience is really stupid, and therefore we don't need any nuance to these characters. So there's nothing to unfold, there's nothing to get immersed in, there's nothing to pull you in. And that said, my other real problem with this movie was the way Michelle Moynihan's character was written. She was so obnoxious. You know, she's supposed to be this cop who's trying to prove that she's really good at her job because of something that happened. But the way that they go about, I don't know if it's the actress's fault or the way the character is written, or a combination of both. The way she goes about portraying this character and the way this character goes after dirty cops is ridiculous. She's totally unlikable. Every scene she's in, you just want to slap her, you know, because it gets to the point where you sort of feel like, if you're that good a cop, you should be putting certain things together by now, and you're not, right? We get it, right? You had something happen and you're trying to prove yourself, but it was just annoying. She was annoying. So again, you kind of end up not wanting to root for anybody. I mean, at one point, the only character in this movie I found engaging in any way was the bad guy. I think his first name was Ray or Roy or something like that. You know, I wanted to know more about him. I wanted to know more about his family, because apparently, like, his family is really feared, and you know, he's not the typical bad guy you expect to see in Vegas. This is in the Italian mobster type. So his story and what was driving him, the way the actor portrays this character, is I wanted to know more about him. He was the only person, the only character in this movie that had anything about him that engaged me. Not Jamie Foxx's character, not his side story with his wife and his kid. None of that shit worked. Everything else fell flat. So unfortunately, guys, Sleepless is not a movie I would recommend going to cinemas to see. As a matter of fact, if this came out straight on VOD or DVD, streaming, whatever, that would be the best way to see it. And it wouldn't surprise me, because this film just isn't worth the time it takes to go out and check it out. You know, so overall, I'm going to give Sleepless a 5 out of 10. And that's it. There's not much else to say about this movie. I wouldn't say it was disappointing, because this is January and I never really expect anything huge out of the films of January. Last year I got The Witch, and that was excellent. So hopefully we have something like that. I would like to check out Ben Affleck's Live by Night, and I'm hoping that that's gives me more than this movie did. So that's it. Sleepless gets a 5 out of 10. And that's it, guys. Hopefully I'll start back shooting my videos properly for you guys very soon, after the carnival season, I would say. And until next time, bye bye.